So let's take a look at the first form of quadratic, which is standard form. So we had copied this down in the previous video, and this is what standard form looks like. It has some number x squared plus some other number x and then a number by itself. So I'm just circling for you to see what those ABCs are. So A is 2, B is 8, and C is 1. The very first step that you're going to take is to see whether that first number is positive or negative. If it's positive, positive is good, happy face, which means it's upward sloping and has a minimum, meaning the graph has a bottom minimum. This is a listening check. Color in the A's in the word standard, in the title standard, color in the A's. Step 2 is always going to be to find the vertex. So in every single one, all the steps are the same. So find the vertex. To find the vertex is a formula that you have to memorize. It says x is equal to negative b over 2a. Then what you do once you find that is you plug it into to find y. So let's go ahead and do it. So x equals negative b. So find b, which is 8. Negative 8 over 2 times a. What's a? 2. Go ahead and simplify that, and you get x is negative 2. Then you're going to plug that back in to find what y is. So I'm just going to write down equation 2, and then I see an x, so I'm going to put negative 2 squared plus 8, and then I see an x, so negative 2 plus 1. And every time I put an x in, I put parentheses. So you guys will put it in the calculator just like you see it. The square button's right there. You're going to get y is equal to negative 7. So the vertex is your x and y, which is negative 2, negative 7. This is a listening check. Put a box around the vertex equals negative 2, negative 7. Then after you find your vertex, you are going to draw an axis of symmetry at your vertex. And what an axis of symmetry means a straight line that basically goes through your vertex. Now, because this is an upward U, it needs to be a vertical line. If it looked like a C or a backward C, it would be a horizontal. So I'm going to make an X and Y axis, and then just space this out as evenly as you can. Just as evenly as you can. Make sure they're kind of the same. Alright, let's plot our points. So it's going to be a minimum. We're going to plot the point negative 2, negative 7. So down 7. And then draw your axis of symmetry a vertical line. So take a ruler or just freehand draw it from the dot upwards. Because I know it's going up. So it looks like that. Alright, number 4, for me to find out exactly what it looks like, I need to make a table and plot the points. So I'm going to make x and y. I'm just going to take some numbers, but I'm going to start with what I already have, which is negative 2, 7. Then I'm just going to make up some numbers for x. I'm always going to pick a 0. Then what you're going to do is plug those numbers into your equation to find out what y is. So it goes 2 parentheses, x is 0 squared plus 8 parentheses, x is 0 plus 1. And you're going to put that in the calculator just like you see. I'm going to do the same thing for 1. So 2 parentheses, 1 squared plus 8 parentheses, 1 plus 1. Listening check, color in the 0 in the table. So 2 parentheses, 0, close parentheses, squared, plus 8, open parentheses, 0, close parentheses, plus 1. And then same thing for the second one. Just typing in what you see. Then writing down the answer. So when x is 0, y is 1. When x is 1, y is 11. I forgot to write and plot. Alright, so let's go ahead and actually plot the points. So we already have the vertex. Then we have 0, 1, 1, 11. My graph doesn't go as high as 11, so I'm going to pick some other numbers. I'll pick some numbers more to the left. So let me try like negative 4. So I'm going to plug it right into the formula again, and it's just copied from the same. Only thing in the parentheses changes is negative 4. Plug that into the calculator. This is a listening check. Circle the number 11. I get 1. also going to pick another number since I already had 1. So -4, 1 is another point, which makes sense because it's going to be a mirror. And what that means is it's the same distance from one point to that line is the exact distance from that other point to that line. So the distance is 2 from each point to the line. Let me try -3. And so plug in -3. So again, I'm going to write it all out with the parentheses as -3. Punch it in the calculator, just like I see it. And I get -5. So let's plot -3, -5. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 5. Right, perfect. So it's enough points. I don't need that many points. And then the last step is going to be to mirror the points across the line of symmetry. A listening check, put a box around the number 5. Alright, so what that means is it's going to fold right over. Whatever's on the left is going to go to the right. So it's going to count to the line and count over. So I counted 1, so I count over 1. Once I've done that, I've mirrored all the points. I joined all the points, and that's my graph. Right now I answer all the questions. What's the y-intercept? Where does it cross the y-axis? When is x 0? X is 0 when y is equal to 1. Or you can look at the graph. Y-intercept, all you have to do is look at the c. So the c is the y-intercept. So c is 1. The y-intercept is 1. Axis of symmetry is that line. Okay, it goes through -2 one time, which means it's x. Find the axis of symmetry. You look at your vertex, and your x value is your axis of symmetry. So right here, x is equal to -2 is your axis of symmetry. The vertex is where it like the bottom of the U, I guess. -2, -7. Is it a max or minimum? Well, look at the bottom. The bottom, it has a bottom, so it's a minimum. Does it open up or down? It opens up. So U is going to be up, and N is going to be down. End behavior is what's happening as x goes to -infinity and as x goes to +infinity. So you're going to write it down just like this. As x tends to -infinity, f of x tends to. As x tends to +infinity, f of x tends to. So what's happening as x goes that way? Y is going towards +infinity. What happens as x goes to the right? Y is going up, 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 up forever. So to +infinity. Domain is x, range is y. So x-wise, there is a graph all the way on the x. There's a graph. Therefore, it's all real numbers. Y-wise, there's no graph, graph starts there. So what's that number? That's where the graph starts. So at -7 included, so you close the parentheses, and then it goes up forever. So what's that number forever? Infinity. Because it's infinity, it's an open parentheses, because infinity is not really a number. Average rate of change is just a slope. So you write down the slope formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, and then you plug in the numbers. So they tell you they want x1 to be -2 and x2 to be 0. So you plug those in. So it's going to be 0 minus -2. And then you need to find out what the y values are at that point. So when x is -2, y is -7. When x is 0, y is 1. So y2, which would be 1, minus y1, which would be -7. Plug that in the calculator. You get 8/2, which simplifies to 4. This is a listening check. Put a box around the number 4 and color it in. Okay, and that's pretty much it. So there are 4 steps that you need. Well, 5. I'm sorry. There are 5 steps that you need to do. But once you've done these 5 steps, you can answer any question they throw. Let's practice.